A great blend of strength and mobility to fit it in. Lead with the legs and see the stick tip over. Lead with the lumbar spine and see the stick tip over. A shorter range of motion than the previous exercise. Lead with the legs to see the stick turn round, keeping your head facing forwards as much as possible. Lead with the lumbar spine to see the stick turn round. Working on some speed and agility, upper body and lower body coordination. Jog on the spot as shown using the arms and legs. 5 times pausing, 5 times pausing. Go as strong and fast as you can. This is a pure lumbar mobility exercise, keeping the knees and feet as together as possible, even placing a small cushion in between the thighs to keep yourself pressed together. Turning your head every so often or at each turn to keep it mobile and not too stiff. Using your Swiss ball, you're going to walk out as shown with the hands until you feel as strong and loaded as you can out onto the feet at the farthest point. Holding tight across the floor with your hands and the ball. Roll the ball forwards using your legs and hips. 10 times, walk back and repeat for the whole minute. Pure upper spine mobility, keeping the elbows the same distance apart throughout. Coming up through the upper spine towards the legs as shown. Coming down onto the upper spine, further onto the floor with the arms up to the ceiling, and then slowly taking the arms further back behind you towards your face, always keeping the elbows the same distance apart from where they started. Legs staying as still as possible to emphasize the upper and middle back. This is the hip hinge or the Romanian deadlift, taking the dumbbells up and down towards the knee line, tipping over from the hips with the spine as an emphasis, and then taking the hips back so you can press the load across the top of the feet. Keeping the ankles nice and strong. This is an upper back mobility exercise, concentrating on one side at a time. Setting yourself up into a tripod with one hand on the side of the head as shown, the elbow, the outer point of the circle around your body. Breathing in when your arm goes around the top and out as your elbow goes around the bottom. Trying not to bend the spine or move the legs sideways, and trying not to move your spine up and down. The emphasis is pure rotation. Steady, strong. Sitting on the Swiss ball for some stability training, we're going to bring the dumbbells up to the shoulders, making sure we're starting with the elbows underneath the handle to front end of the dumbbell. Pressing one up and turning the part around as shown, turning it back to the starting position with the elbows in the same state as they started, and then performing the exercise on the other side. Take your time, breathing out on the way up and in on the way down on each side, using a mirror or a reflection as often as and as much as you can. This is a great mobility exercise for the lumbar and the hips. Folding one knee up into you to bend at the hip and knee, and the other one gets taken out in front of you. Very athletic style of position, and gets that lumbar and pelvic position, moving up and down from the floor gently to create that mobility and lightness. This is a great combination exercise, training the legs with a squat and the upper body, back, shoulders with the resistance band row. Take your time to mimic the movements and positions as shown, feeling strong standing when you're pulling the bands and strong with the extended arms as you squat down. This is a single lifted leg lower back lumbar rotation mobility exercise. Keeping the knee the same distance away from your tummy as it goes around the body to the side, as shown. And then when it raises up to the top to return, it stays exactly the same distance away from the tummy before being replaced to the floor and changed over to the other side. Switching arms over to keep one out on the side of you as an anchor, making that lumbar rotation the emphasis. Breathing calmly. Every time you breathe out, you'll feel some muscles become flexible, and looking for those shoulders to stay nice and grounded and strong on the floor.